G'day, Mate 40 here. So we're in Royal National Park. So we're just outside of Sydney, just south of Sydney. So this park's about 20 minutes drive outside of Sydney. And the Australian Prime Minister, by the way, is Scott Morrison. So he leads the Conservative Coalition. There are 3 new biographies out on Scott Morrison. So he's got this Scotty from marketing persona, so I think his education was in marketing. So when he comes to deal with an issue, seems like his first instinct is, how do we market this? And he's someone who doesn't like to admit he was wrong, doesn't like to take responsibility for mistakes. So Australia bollocksed up its vaccine rollout, so its vaccine rollout was about 6 months late. And then that caused massive lockdowns. We had them in Sydney for about 4 months straight, just ending about 6 weeks ago, and then Melbourne was the most locked down city in the world, and many of those lockdowns are attributable to the Scott Morrison government not having their vaccine act together. So in many ways they've done a great job with COVID, with a death rate per capita about 150th of the United States, but they were slow on the vaccine rollout. So it meant that Australia's major cities were locked down for many, many months, which would not have been necessary if they'd gotten the vaccines out as they had planned to. So he won the impossible election in 2019, so he has completely unified the right-wing parties because this was an election that no one thought he could win. And so he's a good politician, and he's someone who's proven he can win elections, but whether he'll make any substantial change, whether he'll make a lasting imprint on Australia, or will he be like another Malcolm Fraser who won 3 elections but didn't get anything important done. So one title of the new Scott Morrison biography is How Good is Scott Morrison? So certainly a very good politician, but will he be equally adept at governing? And so I've been reading the news on the Omicron variant, and apparently news out of Israel is that the vaccines are about 90% effective against the Omicron variant. Also news out of South Africa is that the symptoms from the Omicron variant are relatively mild, but politicians have to make choices right now. So politicians in Australia and the United States and elsewhere around the world, they're banning travel from South Africa and related nations, but the politicians have to act while the science is running way behind the politics. So scientists won't have more clarity on this Omicron variant for 2 to 3 weeks, but politicians have to act when we don't have clarity. So we're all operating in a liminal space, meaning we're always between one thing and another. So we are once again in a liminal space, waiting to find out about how deadly is the Omicron variant and how effective are vaccines against it. But I think Joe Biden is making the right call in recommending that people get the booster shots as soon as possible.